So here, what you're looking at right now is the Sweet 16 official bracket. You can find this on my Discord if you want to take a look at it, as it updates every single night whenever a match concludes. As starting tonight, or starting 24 hours after this video post, you'll start to see some games move on to the Elite Eight, which is the next step above this bracket right here. This is the third round of the main tournament, and also the fourth round overall. And let's talk about all of the matches we got here. We have 8 matches instead of 16 because there's only 16 games left. And as you can see in Group A, there are 0 Roblox games. As in Group A, we got match A13, we got Halo Infinite multiplayer versus the finals. Both games are shooter games, but both of them have different rules and different objectives. So I want to see which one has more favorites. I'm not going to say my predictions because I don't want to influence the tournament in any way. I just want to show a clear perspective on what's going to be happening and who you guys will be playing in the next round. And then in A14, we have PUBG versus Asphalt Legends Unite. This is probably going to be the biggest match in this group, which is also why it's the last one, as it will be occurring on the last day of the second round. Last day of the third round. As these two games are big title games with aspirations to go beyond the Sweet 16. Well, really, so does Halo Infinite and the finals. As a lot of these games have been having incredible seasons. Then we move on to Group D, which is known as the Roblox group now, because this is the one where all 4 Roblox games are live. Well, guess what? They're forced to fight each other, which means there's going to be a guaranteed another 2 more going home in this round. So next round, we will start with no more than, in the Elite 8, we're going to start with no more than 4 Roblox games now, because 2 are guaranteed to be eliminated. However, there's a minimum amount of Roblox games, that's 2, and that is if the other 2 Roblox games from Groups C and B get eliminated as well. As you can see here, we got Evade versus Bed Wars. And then we got Catalog Avatar Creator versus The Strongest Battlegrounds, which I feel like is now the most popular remaining Roblox game after several Roblox games that are massive been eliminated last round. So, TSB fans, I think you guys get it off a little easy now, knowing that most of your biggest rivals are gone. You just got to win your matches now. As for everybody else, you got to play to try to defeat them, to defeat TSB. However, Evade is a strong contender as well, as I believe they're the second most popular Roblox game here. So if both Evade and TSB make it to the Elite 8, it's going to be a very big match, because that match is going to be the one that decides who goes on to the Season 6 schedule, and the other will miss out on Season 6. So yeah, it's definitely going to be insane if they both move on. It's going to be even more insane if there are upsets by both Bed Wars and Catalog Avatar Creator, because those 2 are not expected to win their matches. I know I said I wasn't going to make predictions or anything, but I just kind of did. But because, again, we have to make an analysis on this. The finals and Asphalt Legends Unite, they're not the favorites there, but they could possibly win. They have a large fan base that's been supporting the games for a few seasons now. All right, now we're going to scroll down to Group B, which only has one Roblox game left, and that is Deathball And that's not even the most popular game in that genre. And they made it this far somehow. Remember, Blade Ball is the most popular of this genre, and they went home before the first round even started, so. And now Blade Ball is in Group B, taking on Starlit Adventures. They were going to have a different opponent, as I thought they were going to be going up against Dead Rails, but Dead Rails went home early. So now Deathball's got it easy here. They're up against Starlit Adventures, unless if they find a way to choke against Starlit Adventures. I don't see why Deathball shouldn't advance to the Elite Eight. As for The Walking Dead for Xbox 360 and Destiny 2, on the other hand, I have never seen a game for a super old generation console like I have never seen a game for a vintage console get this far ever. They've made the polls somehow almost every season, and this is the first time they've actually done something in there. As they now sit up against Destiny 2 in round 3. But ultimately, I still think that Destiny 2 will win that match. Simply because no other game, again, because it's a 360 game. The only reason I believe this 360 game made it so far is because both of the opponents they played in round 1 and 2 weren't really that great, and it shows if you look at the brackets in the round of 32 and the round of 64. Which, if you thought the round of 32 was insane, wait till you see what the Sweet 16 looks like. I honestly can't wait. And then finally we go through Group C. There's only one Roblox game left, and that is Shrimp Game. And this match right here is going to be pretty big. The first match on Group C is going to be very big. Shrimp Game versus Valorant. Now this is another matchup. There's actually support for Valorant, believe it or not. They had enough support to get this far, and I keep getting comments about its support as well. And for that reason, Valorant has the upper hand here, and most likely will actually win this match. And if they do win this match, then all 4 Roblox games will be eliminated out of Group C as well as Group A as well. And it can possibly happen in Group B if Deathball loses to Starlit Adventures somehow. But I don't see that happening because, again, Starlit Adventures is not a big franchise. They're kind of like the what I like to call the Everton Football Club of the Sweet 16 bracket right here. And when you take a look at that, but the difference between match B14 and C13 is that the match is a lot more close. Shrimp Game's got support. And if you look at the polls for the Squid Game X, they technically had more votes, but again, most of the votes came after the 24 hours that were allowed, which could give Shrimp Game the upper hand, but Valorant has a strong support, which is why I still believe that Valorant has the upper hand in this match. So I feel like this is going to be a close game. Let me know what you guys think about that one, because that one's going to be pretty big. And then the final match in here is match C14, Starlet Kart versus Hamster Playground. 2 games that I honestly didn't think were going to make it this far are going off against each other. Which means, guess what? One of them is going to the Elite 8. Confirmed. And I can't believe it. Because these tiny franchises going to be going to the group final is insane. One of these games is going to be 1 win away from being in the schedule. Can't you believe that? So yeah, every single game in this bracket are 2 wins away from entering the Season 6 schedule. You just need 2, but you can't lose a single game. Which is why it's important to vote. And I want to emphasize that because, again, on the last day of the round of 32, only 1 person voted. So if you don't make your voice heard, by default, the winner with the higher seed, which basically means, for example, let's take an example here. I want to take an example from, let's do match D14, since everyone talks about the strongest battlegrounds. If no one votes, and either that or the score is tied at the end of the 24 hours, the game with the higher seed wins. Now, higher seed doesn't mean the highest number. Because think of it this way. If you see a 15 next to your game, that means they're the 15th best game in terms of popularity in the group. Take that with the strongest battlegrounds, who was ranked 14th in that group. The game with the higher seed would win in a case of a tie, which in this case would be the strongest battlegrounds, since 14th place is better than 15th place. So if you guys don't vote, you are automatically forfeiting the other game. So I want to show you a better example with a game that has support, but is a worse seed than the other one. For example, Deathball versus Starlit Adventures. If no one votes in that match, Starlit Adventures wins because they have a better seed than Deathball. That's how seeding works. Now, as you can see, a lot of these seed numbers are double digits here. That's because there's been a lot of upsets in the first few rounds. We are not... All 4 of our first seeds have been eliminated in round 1, which included Marvel Rivals, by the way, which was a big one. And as you can see, our lowest remaining seed is actually a tie between Evade and Shrimp Game, who both barely made it into the bracket. But just because you have a low seed doesn't mean you don't have support. That just means that less people play the game than the other games. Support is dependent on the fan base, which watches our channels and stuff. And our highest remaining seed, well, is a number 2 seed, and our only remaining number 2 seed, PUBG. So, if no one were to vote in the polls for the rest of the season, PUBG would become a secondary, basically. Which, in case you don't know what that means, that basically puts it in the same footsteps as Fish, and whoever wins between Blocks Fruits and Hypercarts, that's going to be determined in our next live stream. I believe, is it our next live stream, or is it after the Roblox? Well, we'll see. Get ready to vote, because the next round's about to start. I'm about to end this video because I got to do my duel lesson before Duolingo kills me. Peace out.